If you're wondering which dash cams are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Garmin Dashcam X310. This thing is super compact with a touchscreen and solid 4K during the day, but plate reading sucks unless you're right on their bumper. And the built-in battery feels outdated next to supercap rivals. The driver alerts are hit or miss, and it costs a fortune for what you get. Would I buy it? No, because the Viofo smokes it on actual evidence capture while being less annoying long-term.
Viofo A329. Straight up the king here, with insane Starvis 2 sensors that nail plates day and night at 4K 60 frames per second, and fast Wi-Fi transfers that don't make you rage quit. It just works without subscriptions or weird glitches after a week of hard driving. Would I buy it? Yes, because everything else feels like a downgrade in the stuff that actually matters when you need the footage.
ThinkWare U3000. The radar parking mode is cool for not draining your battery, but the app is a glitchy nightmare, and video quality is just okay for this price, while false alerts drive you mental. Night performance lags hard compared to the Viofo 2. Would I buy it? No, because it's bloated with features that don't deliver when you actually need clear proof. Vantru N4 Pro. Triple channel setup gives decent coverage, and the video looks sharp enough in good light, but the mounting is a sticky disaster that falls off, and night details get mushy fast. Feels overpriced once you fight the app and cables every few days. Would I buy it? No, because the Viofo does better quality without the constant little frustrations. Nextbase iQ 4K. Fancy AI alerts and cloud stuff sound smart until the app constantly disconnects the rear cam and you pay extra monthly just to make it usable. Mount is stiff as hell, and footage isn't even the sharpest in this group. Would I buy it? No, because it's all hype with subscriptions and bugs that make the cheaper, reliable ones look genius. 70mAh Dashcam A810. This thing nails the front camera with sharp 4K footage that actually reads plates even at night. And the app with GPS feels pretty handy after a week of driving around. Rear camera is noticeably softer though, and that weird cable connector is annoying as hell when routing it. Would I buy it? Yes, because the front view punches way above its price and beats the others for daytime clarity without feeling bloated. Red Tiger F7N. Touchscreen sounds cool until you realize the 4K is fake upscale junk and the rear footage looks muddy compared to everything else here. App keeps dropping connection, voice controls are hit or miss, and it just feels unreliable after daily use. Would I buy it? No, because the Rove and Mio 5 smoke it for actual video quality, while this one pretends to be premium and delivers headaches instead. Mio 5 S1 Ultra. Dual 4K on front and rear looks insane for the money, with solid night performance that actually holds up, and setup was straightforward without much fuss. Rear cam has some focus issues on one side though, and those big files fill cards fast if you forget to manage them. Would I buy it? Yes, because it crushes the list for all-around recording punch and doesn't annoy me like the overpriced gimmick cams. Rove R2 4K. Marketing screams 4K, but it's another fake one with average daytime video and weaker night detail, plus jello from road vibration that gets old quick. Rear is even more meh, and parking mode glitches out sometimes, compared to the 70mI. Would I buy it? No, because for similar cash, the Mio 5 actually delivers real, usable footage without the deceptive hype and constant little frustrations. Cobra SC400D. 3 channels and fancy touchscreen with alerts sounds smart until the premium price hits, and you deal with connectivity drops, support headaches, and it dying after months like some users report. Overkill features feel bloated next to the simpler ones that just work. Would I buy it? No, because it's way too expensive for the reliability issues, and the Mio 5 gives better core video without turning my car into a gadget nightmare. Vantru E360. This thing tries to be a 360 panoramic beast that doubles as an action cam with the stick mount. And yeah, the dual fisheye setup covers everything including sides, which is wild on the road. But the night footage gets grainy with glare, the app is flaky as hell when connecting, and after a week it feels gimmicky next to proper dedicated cams. Would I buy it?
No, because the video detail just isn't there for serious protection when rivals crush it in clarity.
Nexar Beam 2. Slap this in and love the automatic cloud uploads and LTE alerts that actually ping your phone when something happens. Super convenient for parking paranoia. Video is decent in 1440p, but the subscription fee keeps draining my wallet every month, and the app glitches drove me nuts after constant use. Would I buy it? No, because that ongoing cost makes the whole setup feel like a ripoff compared to cams that just work without monthly BS.
Viofo A229 Pro. 3 channels with insane 4K front and Starvis 2 sensors that actually read plates day or night without washing out, plus reliable parking mode that doesn't cook the unit. It runs cooler than expected, and the footage is sharp enough to make other cams look soft, though wiring everything up took patience. Would I buy it? Yes, because after a week of real driving, this one actually delivers where it counts and doesn't annoy me like the rest. Thinkware Q200. Compact and stealthy with solid driver alerts and a clean app for quick checks. Front 2K looks okay in daylight. Rear is weak 1080p that misses details. Videos chop into tiny clips and the safety warnings get falsely loud and irritating fast. Would I buy it? No, because the average video and naggy alerts make it feel half-baked next to the Vofo that actually captures proof. Garmin Dashcam Mini 3. Tiny as hell and hides perfectly on the windshield with easy Garmin app pairing for quick pulls. 1080p is just okay with decent daytime, but night is meh, and no screen or built-in GPS means you're always fumbling the phone. Would I buy it? No, because it's basically a fancy paperweight compared to the full coverage and sharpness from the Viofo that actually feels worth owning long-term. Nextbase Pico. This tiny thing hides perfectly behind the mirror, and the app looks slick with free cloud stuff. But after a week, the night footage gets blurry fast, and the setup glitches drove me nuts compared to the smoother rivals. Would I buy it? No, because it's overpriced for single-channel mediocrity when others crush it on clarity and value. DDPI N5 Dual. The 4K front looks sharp even at night, and that radar parking mode actually works without draining the battery. Plus, the compact no-screen design blends right in. But the rear cam feels weak next to proper dual setups, and the voice commands get annoying quick. Would I buy it? Maybe, because it's a solid budget dual, but the Viofo makes it feel pointless for serious use. Garmin Dashcam X210, the 1440p with that polarizer handles glare okay, and the Garmin app syncs fine if you are already in their ecosystem, but it feels basic and outdated after living with the others for days. Night detail lags hard, and no real wow factor. Would I buy it? No, because it's just sitting there collecting dust while the Vofo and DDPAI actually deliver usable proof. Viofo A329S. This beast nails 4K front with insane night vision, and the parking modes actually last without killing the car battery. Plus, adding extra cams is seamless. After a week of real drives, it just feels bulletproof compared to everything else on this list. Would I buy it? Hell yes, because it smokes the competition, and I would not trust my ass with anything less now. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the dash cams for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.